In the news update coming up here for, that's right, we got it here for May the 3rd, 2017. That's right, on a Wednesday morning. We have a couple of things to talk to you about. 8 people died in Texas due to tornadoes, and there were dozens of people that were injured over the past weekend. I'm sure you heard about that. If you haven't been in a cave behind a rock somewhere. But that's what really happened there. And of course, there's lots of flooding in Tennessee, and there are dangers of mudslides that could happen there in the valleys there, between the mountains there. And people are a little concerned about that. It's too. I would be concerned about that myself. And also, there's a volcano between Japan and China, Japan and North Korea. Both North Korea, am I saying this right? I think it's China. Yeah, both North Korea and China share the same border of an underwater volcano that's right there along the border between the two countries. And that volcano is long overdue from erupting. They say with all the tension building up in North Korea, with all the threats going on, they say that could erupt that super volcano giant, which is under that water, which is long overdue. And they're saying many experts have warned, scientifics from the scientific journal and even from the observatories for earthquakes, I've warned that it could set it off because of all the missile tests shaking the ground and stuff. And another thing they just discovered there's a lot of molten lava, or they're calling it carbon, underneath about 8 or 15 states in the West, like out where California is and all that. There's molten lava, and there's no place for that to go. So they just discovered that here just yesterday. So we don't know what's going to happen there. And also, there's more molten rock underneath Yellowstone too, as well. There's some there too. So it's like the Earth is heating up, folks. And something big is going to blow on the horizon. Don't know where, don't know. But as a matter of fact, riots and protests still continue in Paris and France. As you know, police have used flashbang grenades and also rubber bullets to try to break up riots there. And also in Portland, Oklahoma, they had some riots going on and protests going on out that way too in America. And police had to use flash grenades and rubber bullets and that sort of thing to try to break up the hysteria of what's going on there, even though the riots and protests are still continuing. And Japan or China has ordered the immediate halt on all the tension going on with North Korea over China because they don't want to lose that gas line. They want that activity to cease. And the experts also warn about that earthquake I was telling you about between China and North Korea. They share the same border there underneath that lake, to say that it could set off a lot of earthquakes all across the globe, because this one's a super volcano. They call this one a super giant, moreover, on that volcano. And so that's something to really be watching for. We need to pray for our leaders at this time, and we need to pray for people in general who do the right thing in every branch of office, all the way from the top, all the way down to just a regular person. Because this country is really, the whole world is really in serious trouble right now. And we need to make sure that we have people in there behind the positions of office that they're doing the right thing. And pray for Donald Trump and his family that they'll continue doing the right thing and not get swayed or get sucked into all the propaganda of the elites and getting scared of the blackmail threats, so they give in and not do what they're supposed to do because they sold out because of fear. And it is hard sometimes when someone says, I'm going to go after your family. You might actually give in to their agenda a little bit. But I don't think Trump would fully deviate from what his plans are. I think Trump has accomplished about 80% of what he said he was going to do in over 100 days. So I say he's on task for the most part. So keep him and his family in prayers at this time. And and keep your family in prayers. Make sure you get filtered water. Get a first aid kit together. Get a emergency kit together. Have food, rations in there, granola bars, batteries, water for you and your pets and children, and food for you and your pets, and clothing and blankets if necessary, and vacuum packed bags. Have water in there. Have money in there. Have gold and silver in there. Some of you have that. If you're able to do that, great. Do it, because if the money doesn't work, currency is worthless. You can always use silver and gold because it'll always work. If you can find someone to cash it or trade for it and give you equal value back in return for what it is actually worth. But like I said, silver is getting ready to go up. I think the last time I checked, it was like at 18. It was like 17 and a quarter. So now it's like 18 something now an ounce of silver. And it's saying it's set to go up here in the next month or two. It could go up majorly. It could go up to $30 an ounce. And gold, is just about over $2,000 an ounce now. So, there's something going on the horizon. And usually when gold goes up in value, that's not good. And so, every time that happens, it's not a good sign. So, be in prayer for our church leaders, be in prayer for our youth ministers, be in prayer for the teachers in our schools, and the principals who are Christian in our schools that are working in public and Christian schools. Be in prayer for our children when they go to these places, that they're safe and not being taken advantage of inappropriately or not the right way by adults or by other children. Hope that they're all safe, all children, and that they have a good, safe experience. So anyway, this is just some of the in the news stories at this hour. We'll have more in the news updates coming up. Stay tuned. Love y'all. Take care. Please donate, support us, and always subscribe. And take care. And follow us on Facebook too, and on YouTube. I love you, and be safe out there, folks. This is in the news for Wednesday, May the 3rd, 2017.